Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by George Bee. He's the CEO of US Gold Corp. George, very good to speak with you today.
Good to see you, Stephen.
So, George, you gave a presentation on the developments of your CK Gold project at the SME conference in New York back in May. And you compared it to other projects you've worked on and what makes it attractive. Could you tell us what does make it attractive?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was a great opportunity to showcase the CK Gold project against some of the other things that I've done during my career. And the theme was location, location, location. So as you look at projects, you have to bear in mind, where you're situated and what some of the circumstances are around that. So, as we look at the technical aspects of the project, perhaps the simplest. You've also got to look at the jurisdiction. What are the rules of the game where you're working? Do you have political stability? Cost considerations associated with that location. That includes geography and logistics. What about labor? Are you going to be able to find labor where you're situated, and infrastructure? And also, what is the acceptance from a social and economic standpoint? So those are all the topics I touched upon, and yeah, it was a good meeting.
I mean, let's start on the location, George. So, take us through why Wyoming is a good location for you or a good jurisdiction to work in.
Okay, so as you look at Wyoming, Wyoming is a resource state. There's about 660,000 people in the state. A lot of the revenue that the state garners comes from the resource sector: coal, oil, gas, trona, a little bit of uranium, and nobody's building any new power stations anymore. So coal is diminishing in its importance for the state. So diversification with a CK Gold project, a copper gold project, makes it very attractive for them. And we're also situated in the southeast corner of the state. That is about 20 miles outside of Cheyenne, which is the capital. There is mining activity in the area. Indeed, there's a big quarry just 3 miles to our south. So as you think about Wyoming, Yellowstone Park, Jackson Hole, and so on, we wouldn't be talking if we were situated there. But we're in the southeast corner of the state, a mining area and a mining state, mining-friendly jurisdiction.
What else makes this mine stand apart, George? I know it's a very environmentally friendly project, so that must be one of the benefits.
Yeah, look, because people are familiar with the resource sector, we've obviously done a lot of groundwork explaining what we want to do and how we want to do it, but we really haven't had any serious opposition to our proposed plan to put in what is essentially, as you say, a clean operation. We essentially mine the rock out. It looks like a quarry. We then process the ore material. We develop a concentrate, and that concentrate gets shipped off to a smelter. So really, there are no real nasty chemicals associated with the project. There are no smokestack emissions, and really very little impact to the local environment.
I suppose also no containment dam, and we have seen disasters at other mine sites where containment dams can be a danger.
Well, that's a very good point. And as you think about Wyoming, it's in the West US. You may have heard that we're experiencing difficulties with water, great demand for water. And as you look at water, what we decided to do right from the get-go was to include a dry stack tailings pile and recycle all of our water. So that's what we did. We didn't look at a conventional tailings. So the tailings, once we've squeezed the water out so we can recycle it, will be stacked onto a pad for containment.
George, you've already received a mine operating permit, but it is conditional, and you've already met some of those conditions. Can you take us through them, please?
Yes, look, there are two major permits that we needed. One was the industrial siting permit, which we got last year, And in April of this year, we got our mine operating permit, conditional on getting a water discharge permit, our reclamation bond in place, and an air quality permit. The first two, the water discharge permit and the reclamation bond, are in place, and we anticipate having the air quality permit shortly. So we're ready to go.
Well, tell us what the next steps then are, George, once you've got that final permit.
Well, look, the next steps, we're finalizing with all the conditions from our permitting exercise into our engineering studies, and really talking to some of the local providers and some of the companies. And we are very blessed in our situation. Again, location. We're situated on the I-80 and the I-25, two interstate highways. We have Denver, an hour and a half to our south. We have Gillette, Wyoming, 4 hours to our north, and Salt Lake City, 6 hours to our west. So from that perspective, all the major equipment suppliers are situated within easy reach. And we have, we're situated about 20 miles outside of Cheyenne. So as you look at some of the projects I've been involved with, where we've had to build man camps for remote operations, build roads, build power lines, all of the infrastructure is there. So from that perspective, dead simple build and lots of local talent, and they can go home at night. So it'll be an attractive place to work at a time when there is a great deal of competition for skilled labor.
Well, George, I hope you'll keep us posted on any developments. Thank you very much for the update today.
Well, thank you very much, and always happy to talk about the CK Gold project and US Gold.
I'm sure we'll be chatting again soon, George. That's George Bee, the CEO of US Gold Corp.